The Oklahoma City Thunder haven't had a phenomenal season by any stretch of the imagination, but that doesn't mean they've been terrible either. In fact, they're 15th in points scored per game, and they were 30th last season. They're 15th in three-point percentage, and they were, again, 30th in that department as well last season. And they're now 10th in defensive rating, and last season they were ranked 17th. So they've obviously made a huge jump this season, and with their combination of youth and versatility on both ends of the floor, we think this is a team that has the potential to shock the NBA next season. But why are we so high on the Thunder? To answer that question, we need to take a deep dive into their roster and break down their biggest impact players to figure out just how good they could be. Let's start with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's averaging a ridiculous 31 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists while shooting 51% from the field, 35% from 3, and 90% from the line on 10.8 attempts per game. So while many are hesitating to label him as a superstar, we'll break the ice. SGA is officially a superstar. Those numbers are insane, and even some top 10 players aren't scoring with the same efficiency that he is. He's 6th in the NBA in field goal percentage in the restricted area, shooting 63% on 7 attempts. And that's really insane when you think about it. He's a point guard dominating in the paint like a 7-foot center. He's also first in the NBA in drives per game, so he's literally getting into the paint more than anyone while still being ultra efficient. And while Kyrie Irving, Ja Morant, and even Luka Doncic are great finishers, they still aren't finding the rim like he is. He has, without a doubt, been the best finisher at his position. He's got incredible footwork that allows him to spin and move around even when he's stopped at the rim by a bigger player. It's just so smooth and effortless. And then combine that with that soft touch and you have a nearly unstoppable inside scorer. One of the most important aspects of his inside and post scoring is his patience. And boy, does he have patience. He's great at pumping and getting the defender to get out of position so he can get the easy layup. But the thing is, even if he's playing against a disciplined defender who doesn't jump, he'll just simply draw a foul in some way or another. And that's why he's averaging nearly 11 free throws per game. It's just like prime James Harden. Through 2 seasons with the Houston Rockets, Harden was shooting over 11 free throws per game, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. And now that today's NBA refs are more whistle happy than ever, SGA definitely uses that to his advantage. He also has a nice floater that'll pull out in big moments when needed, and due to his amazing touch around the rim, he makes them more times than not. And when it comes to the mid-range, he's shooting 44% on 3.6 attempts per game, which has him around the top 20. He gets nice elevation on his jump shot, and although he isn't an insanely high-volume mid-range jump shooter, that's still a shot he can make efficiently, especially down the stretch in big games. His improvement from 3 has been huge too. He shot just 30% last year, and now he's shooting 35%. And he attempted over 5 threes per game last season, and now he's cut it down to just 2.5. And this has proved to be the best thing he could have ever done. It makes us wonder why more players just don't focus on the mid-range. Not only is it a higher percentage shot, but it's a great place to draw fouls and get to the line. When it comes to facilitating, we all know he can do that with the best of them. He just has a really high basketball IQ. On fast breaks, he dribbles with his head up, searching for outlet pass opportunities. And in the half court, he's great at hitting open shooters and cutters. He's also been good on the defensive end as well this year. He's 6th in the NBA in the steals plus block stat. And to be a point guard in the top 10 of this stat is just insane in and of itself, because all of the players in front are centers like Joel Embiid, Miles Turner, Brook Lopez, Nick Claxton, and Jaren Jackson Jr. And overall, he's 5th in the NBA in steals. And he's the best shot blocking guard in the NBA at the moment, averaging an even 1 block per game. So he's one of the best all-around players in the game right now. And he's a huge reason why the Thunder have improved so much from last year. But he isn't the only reason. Josh Giddy is averaging 16 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 6 assists per game in his second season. So just imagine how good his numbers are going to look next season and even the year after that. He's shooting 48% from the field, which is a big improvement from last season where he shot just 41%. One of the reasons he's so efficient is because he has one of the best floaters in the NBA already. He's ranked 13th in shots in the non-restricted area, and a large majority of those shots are runners and floaters. At 6'8", that's no surprise. That's his go-to move for points. He can elevate over any guard and most wings that guard him. It's almost unstoppable. He's just too tall and too long for anyone at his position, and he's using it to his advantage. As a passer, he's also really good, and the fact that the Thunder have 2 high-level passers in their backcourt is really great, and they might just be the best facilitating backcourt in the NBA. He's a phenomenal lead passer, and that's not an easy thing to do. Many try it, but they mostly just end up throwing the ball out of bounds, or worse yet, into the hands of the other team. Giddy just has that feel that every elite passer in the NBA has. He's an excellent passer in transition, and he's even better in a half-court setting. Josh can make any pass from anywhere on the court. In the pick and roll, in the post, hitting cutters, kicking it out, cross-court dots, overhead passes, alley-oops, you name it, he can do it. And while he's not really a mid-range shooter, he did improve his three-point percentage. He shot just 26% from three a year prior, and now he's shooting 32% on about one attempt or lower. We know that isn't great, but it's definitely solid progress. And his height allows him to grab a ton of rebounds. And that's one of the reasons why he's 6th in triple-doubles and 21st in double-doubles. And unfortunately, on the defensive end, he obviously isn't great there. But his size, length, and IQ allows him to be playable, at least, on that end of the floor. But now let's talk about Lu Dort, who's averaging 14, 4, and 2. And while he isn't shooting great from 3 right now, he's a better three-point shooter than his 34% shows. He's actually shooting 39% from deep over his last 7 games. But Dort, while he isn't the best offensive player, is really great on the defensive end. He is one of the best on-ball defenders the league has to offer. He's honestly the total package defensively. He can guard 1 through 3, and he thrives when guarding the best scorers in the game. And that's why he has one of the highest matchup difficulty ratings in the NBA. And what's really great is that he's just 23 years old, so he has time to improve even more on both ends, and that's a pretty sight for the Thunder. Then next we have Jalen Williams, maybe the most underrated rookie in the NBA. He's averaging 13, 4, and 3 while shooting 51% from the field, 78% from the line, and 34% from 3. He's really the perfect role player, and with his playstyle and versatility, he's going to have a long NBA career. He can do everything for the Thunder. He has the handles and guard skills to run the point, just like he did in college. He's also a solid off-ball cutter and off-ball mover. He just knows how to make himself useful. And while he isn't an amazing three-point shooter, we can definitely see him shooting somewhere between 36 and 37% next year. Williams is just a really good NBA player, even being so young, and his development is very important for the future of this team. And now that we've talked about one Jalen Williams, let's talk about the other Jalen Williams. And while he isn't as outstanding as his quote-unquote twin brother, he still brings a lot of things to the table that simple stats don't show. He is elite at taking charges, and that's no surprise because he was the best charge taker in all of college basketball last year for the Arkansas Razorbacks. He's currently number 1 in total charges drawn in the NBA, and number 2 on that list is another numbers player, Kenrick Williams, or better known as the guy LeBron James broke the scoring record on. But nonetheless, he, Jalen Williams, and even Jeremiah Robinson Earl are all excellent hustle players. And then you have Isaiah Joe, who's shooting over 43% from 3 on 5 attempts per game. At just 23 years old, he can be a solid piece for them moving forward. Three-point snipers will always be highly valued. Then you have Trey Mann and Aaron Wiggins, who aren't putting up the best numbers, but they're both young and have the talent to be solid NBA players in the future. And we can't forget about Aleksej Pokusevski either. He's averaging a solid 8 and 5 while shooting 37% from 3. Overall, the OKC Thunder have a plethora of young talent that fill every category. They have the young superstar, they have a young borderline star in Josh Giddy, and they have a roster full of solid two-way players. They have the formula to make big things happen in the future. But what do you think? Do the Thunder have the brightest future in the NBA? Let us know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.